We have the pleasure of having today with us the ambassador of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Hyok Chol. And I would like to ask you a few questions, about the prospects for the Korean Peninsula in 2015. I don't know, how do you feel about the recent remarks made by both President Park and President Kim about the possibility of increasing the engagement between the two countries? Even they have expressed the possibility of taking part themselves in a meeting with each other, of course under the right circumstances. Do you think we are witnessing like a golden opportunity for decreasing the tension in the Korean Peninsula, or this is just polite statement made by two leaders without any maybe real content? What do you think about that?
So first of all, I want to express my thanks to the Royal Elcano Institute for organizing such a good meeting where I can explain the reality of my country and the current situation on the Korean Peninsula. And I think it is fruitful for both of us to deepen the understanding of two countries. And as for the relationship between North and South Korea and the prospect of reunification, I want to stress that the reunification of my country is a long cherished desire of our nation, and the development of North and South Korea is the inevitable trend of the period. So it is urgent for us to ease the tensions on the Korean Peninsula and reopen all kinds of talks between North and the South, and developed and reconcile the relationship between the North and the South. And as you mentioned before, our Supreme Leader, Comrade Kim Jong-un, stressed that our Republic will do our best to develop and reconcile the relationship between the North and the South, and we are open to high-level talks, and we are sincere for the effort to ease the situations on the Korean Peninsula. And he stressed that to ease the tensions and make a peaceful environment on the Korean Peninsula, the joint military drills by the United States and South Korea should be stopped, so that it can make a good atmosphere for the dialogues and promote the advancement of the reconciliation between the North and the South. And this year we celebrated the 70th anniversary of the liberation of my country, but also this year is the 70th, maybe not anniversary, but 70th bitter year of the division of my country. So within this year, we should do something to advance for the reunification of my country. So I think, even though there are some difficulties and ordeals, but anyhow, there will be a good advancement and good result between the North and the South relationship. And also, I hope that the situation on the Korean Peninsula would be eased and developed.
And what about the United States? Because maybe the rapprochement between the United States and Cuba may offer some insight into how to improve the relationship between Pyongyang and Washington. I don't know if you think this could be a relevant precedent for your country, or it may not have any influence.
Actually, my country hope to develop the relationships between my country and the United States. But unfortunately, owing to the continued protracted hostile policies against my country by the United States government administration, the Korean Peninsula, the situations has been tense periodically, and we insist that all those hostile policies should be stopped and all the sanctions against my country should be repealed. I mean, they stopped, and we must discuss at a equal level, and we must promote the relationships. As for the current development of this relations between Cuba and the United States, we regard it as a success of the Cuban diplomacy, because the Cuban government asserted and proclaimed to repeal those United States sanctions against their country and normalize the relationship. So at last, the Obama administration acknowledged that those sanctions of half a century had been useless, and so they changed their policies. I hope that the United States in the future acknowledge those sanctions against my country would be the useless and change their policies and engage my country in terms of the dialogues and try to find solutions which would be profitable to ease the tensions and promote the peaceful atmosphere on the Korean Peninsula.
Maybe it can be argued that one of the obstacles for easing the tensions is also the development of a nuclear military program by your country. How do you feel? How do you think that this obstacle can be surmounted?
Yeah. For the last 70 years, it is firm and consistent position of our government to denuclearize Korean Peninsula. As you know, the Republic has put forward the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula at the first time even in 1950s. At that time, the United States had first introduced nuclear weapons into the South Korea. So that is why our Republic insisted that the Korean Peninsula should be denuclearized. And since the 1990s, there was a great threat of the United States against my country. So we couldn't, but to defend our country, we should have deterrence to prevent war and aggression by the United States. That is why we couldn't but purchase the nuclear deterrence, and we don't want to preserve it permanently. We fully agree with the denuclearization of the world, and for that, we insisted that the hostile policies of the United States against my country should be stopped and changed, and all the threat and sanctions committed by the United States should be stopped, and we must normalize the relationship, and we must promote the good atmosphere on the Korean Peninsula, so that we can never fear the threat from foreign forces. And at that time, the denuclearization of Korean Peninsula would be realized and promoted.
Okay, so thank you very much, Ambassador, for your comprehensive and insightful answers.
Yeah.
And we hope we will count with your presence again at our institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your cooperation.